Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome back once again to The Edward. I'm your host Eddie, and in today's video I'll be discussing what I thought of the second and most latest episode of the newest Star Wars show, Star Wars The Bad Batch. Dropped a new episode today on Disney Plus, just got done watching it, really liked it of course. And before I begin, as usual with most of my episode review videos, this is a spoiler-filled review, so if you're not caught up on The Bad Batch by this episode, the second episode, or the first one, the premiere episode from earlier this week, do not keep watching or listening as I will be discussing spoilers. That being said, you have been warned. Let's jump right back into it. So in the very opening shot, when they talk about the planet they're approaching, Seleucami, I'm like, God, that name sounds familiar. That planet, Seleucami, what significance does this have to the Star Wars universe besides just being another planet? And then it dawned on me when they mentioned a deserter. I was like, oh my God, are they going back for the clone deserter from the Clone Wars and with the family, with the Twi'lek family? And sure enough, they were, and they did. And it was so awesome seeing him again. I almost forgotten his name, but I think the deserter's name was Kurt. Yeah, something like that. And his wife was Sue. And their kids also had both aged quite a bit, because it's probably been about 3 or 4 years since that particular episode of Clone Wars, and now we're on to the Bad Batch timeline. It was so great seeing those characters once again, and I loved how they revealed the fact that the Bad Batch was actually pretty tight and close friends with them, which would make sense because the deserter Kurt would be considered a bit of an outsider amongst clones, and a traitor as well, since he deserted the clone army. But it would make sense that they would be friends with him, as the Bad Batch are now deserters themselves, or traitors as well. But even beforehand, they would be friends with a fellow outsider like that, which I really liked. So it was so great seeing the deserter and his family again. I loved, that they were close friends with the Bad Batch, and Wrecker referred to himself as Uncle Wrecker, which was super sweet and super funny. But this episode also, kind of took a bit of a dark turn when they revealed or showed us that, now that the Empire is freshly in power, and the clone troopers are starting to act more and more like stormtroopers, even though they're still wearing clone trooper armor. They're acting more and more like a military dictatorship by impounding vehicles, registering and tracking every single citizen in the galaxy. This episode was just an unpleasant reminder to us that individual freedoms are one by one slowly being quelled and crushed by the newly formed Empire. And I think our characters were also beginning to realize that as well, with the commentary they were making about impounded ships and chain codes for traveling and people being tracked and registered. So, the episode kind of took a bit of a dark turn there, reminding the characters and the viewers, hey, this new government that they just got ain't that great. But it was still a pretty good episode. I loved that they also included a throwback character, or creature, I should say. For those of you who are trying to remember where you've seen that beast from, the one that almost attacks Omega when she goes for the ball, that is the same beast, and of course I can't remember the species name, but we saw that creature last in one of the prequel films, Attack of the Clones, when it attacks Padme in the Geonosian execution arena, and it cuts her pretty bad up in the back, and there's this funny shot of Nute Gunray actually snickering and laughing as she gets badly wounded by this beast, and it's like a big, nasty, multi-eyed leopard or something. Don't remember the species, but that was the same species of creature that Sue took a shot at and Hunter slashed at with his knife. So I liked that. I thought that was a pretty cool inclusion and a pretty cool monster. So overall, entertaining episode. Part of me kind of wanted Omega to go with the family because she would probably be safer and better off. But on the other hand, being an outsider clone herself, it makes sense that she would stay with the Bad Batch. And it also makes sense for Hunter Hunter's character where he's like, you know what, I guess I've got some stuff to learn too. So overall, pretty satisfying, entertaining episode, and I am absolutely here for it. I was already on board with this show by the premiere episode from earlier this week, now even more so. And in case you're wondering why the second episode came so closely after the series premiere, the series premiere had a special premiere date, which was May the 4th, obviously, and it was a perfect date to drop a show like this. And new episodes of this show, much like the one today, will now drop moving forward every Friday for at least until mid-August, because I believe there are 14 more episodes to go, so we've got quite a bit of Bad Batch to look forward to. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Did you have any favorite moments or parts regarding all the callbacks? Let me know in the comments section. Have a great rest of your day, and the Bad Batch drops new episodes every Friday on Disney+. Have a great weekend, everybody, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.